Jamie,
Hello.
how are you?
I'm doing well. It's been a busy summer. I've been doing some swimming, have some family visiting. So yeah,
You
been up
have
to a lot.
indeed been doing some swimming because you've been doing one of my favorite swims, which is the amazing level waters swoosh. So tell everybody about it and what you're going to be doing next year with me, which is the dart.
Yeah, so the Bantam Swoosh, I guess this is a swimming subscription now as well. Yeah, it's a lovely swim in Devon. If you're in the UK and you like doing open water swimming, definitely a really fun one, super lovely. You're helped by the tidal pull. It makes you feel like you're the fastest swimmer in the world, and I highly recommend it.
It is fantastic. And it's even better if you have some coffee and some chocolate to have with you there too.
Definitely.
So we've got a fantastic coffee that you picked from Colombia for this month, and you paired it with a wonderful chocolate from Peru, made in Canada, and then another one grown and crafted in Thailand. And we're going to talk a little bit about texture on these two. So you are going to need a bit of sandpaper, but we'll talk more about that in a minute. So should we start with the coffee?
Yeah, absolutely. So this coffee, Los Naranjos, is roasted for filter. You will be able to use it for any method that you like, and we're going to try it as such as well. And yeah, it's a pretty classic washed Colombian from Square Mile. Like we do a lot of coffees like this, where it comes from one specific community in the Huila province of southern Colombia. But what I really like about this one in particular is that it really has a lot of flavor clarity. And it's one of those where you see the notes on the bag. We always aim for that you can see the notes on the bag, and most people can experience that. But I feel like this one in particular, it's really spot on. So the name of the coffee, Los Naranjos, means the oranges. And every time I try this, I have to pinch myself because it really does have that sort of orange zest kind of taste. And, you know, I'm not the only one in the roastery. We'll kind of all go around and be like, do I just think this tastes like oranges because it's called the oranges? But no, I think there's really something there. And we're also going to talk about, we at the roastery think that this coffee has a really clear note of rose hips. So kind of like a floral, citric, very specific flavor. If you don't live in the UK, you might not be familiar with this flavor, but these chocolates and coffees will introduce you.
Yeah, they will definitely introduce you to it too. I mean, it is, when you said orange zest, I was thinking, okay, this is going to be interesting, but you are absolutely right. It is just, you get this lovely hint of sweetness to start with. So I'm really looking forward to having the Qantu because that's one of their characteristics too, before you get all the flavors. And then you do go and get this lovely orange zest. So let's try it with a bit of Elfie and Maxime's Grey Bars. So Elfie basically goes out and works on the fermentation, finds the best beans in all the different parts of Peru. They do a lot in Piura in the northern provinces. This is from Morropon, but they've also got Chinchos further down. And it just shows you the amazing complexities and varieties you can get out of Peru. And again, as I think you were sort of saying, the lovely thing about this chocolate is it immediately hits you with a lovely wave of sort of tactile sweetness and velvetiness. And then you suddenly get all these extraordinary fruity notes. I don't necessarily get the orange zest, but I definitely do get some of the rose hip.
Yeah.
On some of the berries. I wouldn't have got the rose hip otherwise, yeah. But it just goes on and on and on.
Such a good combo with the coffee too. Now, Morropon is the variety of cacao?
It's actually the place where it comes from.
Okay, the specific.
And it actually calls both. I mean, so they're actually what are called this will be a white bean. So there are lots of different names for the different beans, but it's actually a region. I'm just going to double check that. Yeah, it is that. And it's basically, they're called white beans. So in Brazil, they'd be called Catango, but they would be called Pura, Porcelana, for example, by other companies. Because of the way that the cocoa beans cross-pollinate, actually, when you open up a pod, you may go and get some white, some purple, some different beans, but they do have this lovely light fruity nose. Very different to the Colombian, because we also have beans grown very close to, I think, where this coffee comes from in Colombia, and they will be very, very different to that too.
Nice. Interesting.
And then you picked one of our great new origins and one of our great new makers, Daniel, who basically is from Thailand. He's actually originally from Germany, but he's a chef who went out there and basically, because he couldn't find good enough chocolate to cook out there, got involved in the local scene. So Thailand, unlike Vietnam, has a much more recent history in chocolate. Again, very different as well to Indonesia. It's really only been going to in the 50s and 60s, and it was almost an accident that it came about because originally the royal family got involved in trying to sort of push it, some universities did, But it's only in the last 5 to 10 years that people have really put Thailand on the map. And Daniel does some great other bars. I don't think we've given them to you because I think we've had them out of stock, but he does these great snack bars, which are all sort of modeled on all the favorite things that you're used to. So there's a coconut bar, which you can imagine what that one's called. And there's a nutty bar as well, which, you know, can be done. But this is his coconut milk, which I think, as you sort of said at the very beginning, has got an amazing texture. It's got a bit of crunch in there. Wonderfully, the creaminess, the coconut milk, and it sort of comes out.
Try it with the coffee. See, that was what really stuck out to us this time.
Oh yeah, this
How
is
well
amazing.
This pairs with the coffee because, you know, I feel like from the selection that we've been pulling from, and in general, like from Coco Runner's selection of bars, this one is really like a little bit eccentric. You know, for the texture, for the coconut milk as the base, and you know, for so many reasons. And yeah, you know, I feel like I've really been waiting for the right coffee to pair with this bar because it seemed like an interesting one to highlight. And the moment that we tasted it with this coffee, it
does.
stung.
It's definitely 1 + 1 = 53. I mean, it is just extraordinary. I mean, the kinky coconut, again, Daniel's good sense of humor. It is very different because you get a little bit of, I think he's put some rice bran flour in it, which is what's giving it the kick. And I think when we play with the texture in a minute, it will be there. But you're absolutely right. It brings out a completely new dimension to the coffee and to the chocolate when you have it like that. So, wow. I did not expect that. I'm very, very glad you got this one. Right. Okay. Should we move on to the espresso?
Let's do it.
So I'm super excited because we're getting to play with one of my favorite games, which is not just drinking wonderful espresso, but also playing with texture and your sense of touch and feel as you try different chocolates, because this chocolate is ideal to do that with. So as an espresso,
yeah, you really get that.
It's very, very zingy.
Like,
you get some citrus immediately.
It's like marmalade.
Yeah, it is. You get the sort of the pith, but in a very, very nice way. Okay, now I'm very, very excited. So we're going to basically each of us try another bit of Daniel's wonderful kinky coconut milk chocolate. But what I want to do is, first of all, we're going to just try a little bit of it with the coffee, just to sort of see how it goes and see what difference it makes to the espresso. It brings out even more the coconutty, more of the sweetness. And again, it's 1 + 1 = 53. You get all these different flavors coming out of both the chocolate and out of the coffee, which I just wasn't expecting. But here is another game for you to play with at home. So one of the interesting things is, have you ever tried to figure out why a crisp packet sounds crispy when you open it up? It's what's called cross-modal sensation. And to show you another way of thinking about cross-modal sensation, which is the way your different sensations interact with one another, we're actually going to use texture. So if you haven't shaved today, which I deliberately haven't done, what you can do as you're eating a piece of the same chocolate is basically take a piece of the chocolate, drop it on your tongue. You've got a piece of sandpaper to do this, which you can also use. But basically, as you're eating it, stroke some sandpaper or your stubble and see what difference it makes to the texture. So to me, it becomes far sweeter.
Yeah, it really changes. It's crazy.
It's very, very, very strange. And it's basically because we associate different textures with different sensations. And just to sort of show you how it works, the other thing you can do is with the remaining bit, try that. And then this time, try stroking your forehead or something smooth.
It's kind of a lot.
And I actually get different flavors now. I get more of their nutty notes and almost more of the fruity notes. It's almost sort of got more of the grapefruit to me coming through.
Wow, that makes a huge difference.
It's very, very strange why it works. We'll be talking more about this when we're doing some of our in-person tastings later, and you come to one of those. But this is a great game to play with. And now I'm very excited to try Effie's chocolate again and Maxine's. So we're going to go back to Qantu, back to Morapon. You can try the trick again with the sandpaper, but it works better when you've actually got a bit of texture because they sort of play off one another.
Wow.
It's very, very strange.
I've done this before and I'm still sort of.
So the other trick you can play with it is actually play some music too. So we've just put up a blog on chocolate-related music, and we have a whole bunch of music by different chocolate makers, including the wonderful, amazing Juliana from Bayani. And basically we've got her music, and if you listen to then some Miles Davis, and then you listen to some Eric Satie with different chocolates, they will also completely change it. And I'm going to suggest that we do it with the coffee this time too.
Ooh.
So
okay.
Juliana, we love your music and get going, but I think it's a fantastic combination. That's a wonderful coffee.
Oh, excellent. Yeah.
Next month, we'll have some more swimming adventures. We'll have some more announcements to make, but just remember, bit of sandpaper, or just don't shave for a bit, and just enjoy this amazing coffee. So happy August and happy summer. Happy swimming too.